What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Carly Gifford, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I post sit-down videos talking about pretty much whatever I want. In the past, it's been true crime related. Lately though, it's been like TikTok drama, stuff that, like just petty little things that happen on the internet that are so fun to talk about because it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect a lot of us, and that's the kind of drama that is really, really fun to talk about. Now, I do start typically all my videos telling you guys what I'm drinking and which lip balm I'm using because I'm huge into lip balm. So I am using the Summer Fridays Vanilla Lip Butter Balm. This one is almost out, which I gotta say I'm really excited about because I ordered the limited edition hot cocoa one. So I'm happy to have one that I'm like finishing up with before I get another one. I do have a lot of other lip balms that I need to use up, but I get dry lips really quickly, very easily. So I almost always have some sort of lip balm on me or in my bag or in my car or something like that. So I finished up with my coffee, so I'm not drinking anything right now. I should start drinking water, but I'm really just not a water drinker, even though I have 1,000,001 water bottles. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get into today's little drama, I guess. Okay, so today we are talking about Ryan Nordheimer, is I believe how you say his name. Now, he is a 25-year-old that lives in New York City.
Here's everything I made for my 5-person dinner party as a private chef in New York City.
He posts a lot of TikToks about like baking and then a little bit about cooking, which is really cool. He kind of does both.
These are my almond croissant cookies.
He has a pretty good TikTok following. Yeah, and on Instagram, he has a really good following as well. But it looks like he posts a lot of his TikToks on Instagram as well. So that's kind of cool. If you don't have TikTok, you can follow him on Instagram and kind of see the same content. So I am going to tell you about how he baked one of his friends a birthday cake, and this birthday cake looks so insanely good. I mean, it's a thick boy. I think he said it's like a 15-layer birthday cake, but that's what he does, is as a birthday present, he bakes his friends cakes, and honestly, they take a lot of time. This one, he said, took 5 or 6 hours to put together. So they're not just box cakes that, you can quickly whip up and then throw in the oven and then just put frosting on. Like, I mean, he puts work into these cakes, which is really cool. Honestly, if one of my friends did that for me, I'd be so stoked to have a cake as my birthday present. Like, yes, sign me up. So him and his group of friends, including the birthday friend, went out to a restaurant in New York City, and they called ahead to make sure that they could bring in their own cake. And the restaurant was like, yes, you can. We just need to cut it for you because it's a safety hazard having you do it. Which honestly, I saw one of the comments. I was like, okay, so you can cut your own steak, but you can't cut your own birthday cake? Like, how is that a hazard? Which actually, I see what they're getting at. But anyways, that's just the restaurant's rules. And so when they got to the restaurant, they gave the hostess the cake, they sat down, had their meal, and then they talked to their waiter and were like, hey, we're ready for the cake. So the waiter brought it out, it had a candle on it and stuff. They did the whole happy birthday thing, and they were like, okay, great, we're just gonna take it to the back now and we're gonna cut it. So Ryan said that when they brought out everyone's piece of cake, it was like millimeters thick. Like, it wasn't a very big slice, which he was like, that was kind of weird, but whatever. He was like, doesn't really matter. So then when they were ready to go, they talked to their waiter again. They were like, hey, can we like get the cake for leftovers for our friend? It's their birthday present, And the waiter goes, yeah, sorry, like it's all gone. We don't have it anymore. So it turns out the staff in the back ate the cake. And there were a lot of comments from other servers saying like, yeah, would we like you to offer us like a slice of the cake for us to have because it's a long shift, we're working hard, we're moving, whatever. I mean, yes, we would love to have a slice if you offer it to us, but do we just assume that it's for us? No, we don't. So Ryan was like, we just kind of like, we're like, okay, whatever, I guess. And then they left the restaurant, but he was like, okay, am I in the wrong? Like, should we have said, hey, the leftover cake is for our friend, like it's their birthday present, it's their cake? Or he goes, is that normal to just give the leftovers to the staff? But what was really weird was how thin the slices were. So it's almost like the staff was counting their slices, determine how big to slice Ryan and his friends' slices, if that makes sense. So per personally, I gotta say, I think it was wrong of the staff to just assume that they were gonna get some. That's kind of odd, I think. But I've also never been a server. Well, no, I have been a server. But I don't know, like, is that something that's assumed at a lot of restaurants, that you get to have the leftovers in the back? I don't know. I'm very curious, though, to hear what you guys think. But essentially, that is what happened with this cake. And then, so on the little search bar underneath the TikTok, you know, it said Quality Meats New York City restaurant. And I looked up this restaurant. It looks really high end and very, very nice. But Ryan never said which restaurant they went to, which I do think is a good move. Like, why kind of throw them under the bus, I guess. But personally, I think I would have been like, excuse me, like, that cake, like, that was for my friend. I would have probably said something. They didn't, but I mean, I'm sure they were just not wanting to cause a scene or anything, which is really admirable too. I'm not saying that they handled it incorrectly by any means, but I just want to know what you guys think about this. So comment down below your thoughts and opinions about this whole situation. That is it for me. Now I am going to show Ryan's TikToks at the end of this video. You guys should definitely go give him a follow. I'm going to follow him once I'm finishing up with this video, because honestly, his videos are really, really soothing to watch and he does amazing work. So definitely go and support him. But that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Like I said, leave a comment about your opinion on this situation. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic. If not, totally cool. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Let's make my ultimate funfetti birthday cake. So this is going to be a 15-layer cake with cream cheese mousse and homemade rainbow sprinkle cookies in between every layer. I started out by cutting my ultra fluffy vanilla cake layers that are so light that if I added sprinkles to them, they would actually collapse, which is why the funfetti sprinkles went into the fillings and not the cake. I had this idea to make rainbow cookies from scratch and include those in between each layer. This made the cake taste super nostalgic and also added a little bit of crunch. And then I just continued assembling until the cake was about 15 layers tall. It ended up looking very similar to the milk bar cake, but you'll just have to check back tomorrow to see how I decorated it. This is my ultimate 15-layer funfetti birthday cake decorated with meringue and rainbow cookies. After the cake was done setting up in the fridge, I unmolded it and got to see all of those beautiful layers of cake and then it was time to make the frosting. I love to make a French buttercream. I flavored this one with a little bit of triple sec and then made a very smooth coating around the outside. I don't love a lot of frosting though, which is why I decorated with a little bit of Swiss meringue, in addition to lots of sprinkles and more of those rainbow cookies along the outside of the cake too. Low-key, the only reason why I wanted meringue was so that I got to flame something I was really proud of how smooth I got the exterior, but it was definitely accentuated by all of the decorations, and then I brought it to the restaurant. And although the restaurant ate half the cake for themselves, it was nice to have my little slice with all those beautiful layers and cookie. So this is the story of how a restaurant in New York City ended up eating half of this incredible birthday cake that I made for my friend for his birthday. And that took 5 or 6 hours of my time at least, and I would value at several hundreds of dollars. So for context, I make a birthday cake for all of my friends for their birthdays. As you can see, they're not small. This is a massive cake, at least twice the size of my head. You know, it's massive, it's huge. So we went to the restaurant. I obviously hand the cake to the hostess. They take it into the back. We have a great dinner. Then it's cake celebration time. They bring out the birthday cake, put a candle in it. We all sing happy birthday in it. That's amazing. Again, you can see how big this cake is compared to my friend. So it's not small. And I actually had called the restaurant ahead of time to ask if I could do the cake cutting instead of them, but they said that was a safety hazard. So they ended up taking the cake back into the kitchen to serve it. Now, these are some of the slices that we were served of the cake, and you can really see here just how thin the cake slices were. We're looking at a few millimeters of thickness. So just doing some rough estimation, there were 12 of us at the dinner. If we're each served a slice about this size, or maybe it's a little bigger, that's gonna be about half that of that massive cake. Definitely not all the cake was served to us. And so then at the end of the dinner, when we had asked our waiter where the cake leftovers were, we're expecting them to bring out the remaining half of the cake. But instead, they just say that there's no cake left. So the only explanation is that this high-end New York City Midtown steakhouse took the cake back into the kitchen, cut all of us meager slices of cake to eat, and they had just eaten the rest of it for themselves, which I sort of understand. It's a long shift. They deserve maybe a little bit of a sweet treat at the end of their night. But when the cake is my hard work and my friend's birthday present that I gifted him, it's definitely a little disappointing when my friend is just left with the memory of one of these slices that he ate at the end of his dinner and can't really take home what he should have deserved, the rest of the half of the cake. And my poor friend, who has the worst of luck, this actually happened to him last year too at his birthday, except that restaurant, a different steakhouse, only took 2 slices of the cake instead of half. So definitely worse than last year, and let's see if it happens again. But I don't know. Drop in the comments what your opinion is of this, if the restaurant is totally in the wrong for taking most of the cake, or maybe it's my fault for not telling the restaurant that I had made the cake and that we'd appreciate all of the leftovers. I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll just be serving the cakes at our apartments, because clearly New York City restaurants steal cakes.